Welcome to Simple Conversation with ASG.
So you're a father of five and you're married for 23 years. You're in your 40s, and if anyone that goes to your profile will clearly be able to see that you are in the top 1% of people without those characteristics, because you are in absolutely sickening shape. And it's something that stood out to me right away whenever I messaged you. Was I wanted to get onto these topics because it seems more and more now that the age of men that just kind of give up on their physical condition is getting younger and younger. And we're seeing it a lot now that it seems to be 30 is the break point, but it's very clear that it's going to get a lot lower, which is terrifying. But
Mm.
what has been your motivation to stay in such good condition when your life is growing in responsibilities to these things like parenthood and marriage and just the other side of adulthood?
Um, just so you know, I got in shape at 39. That was the first time. I tried it. I tried to exercise and watch my diet, etc., etc., for many, many years, but it was never, I was never longer consistent than uh, um, 3 months in a row. Then I slipped and everything got worse. But at 39, I got jaundice. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. At 39, I got jaundice and really had to rethink about my physical conditions. Um, And I knew that if I continue to eat, not to exercise, don't look after my health, my body, then eventually my liver would give up, and that's a certain death sentence. So um, this was my wake up call, and since then I'm, let's say, 95% on point with everything.
Can never be 100.
No, we are humans. We can't be 100% on point. It's also pointless because um, there is a certain dynamic like um, relationships. Um, Not everybody is into eating well, exercising, and everything that comes with it. So the social aspect comes too. And I don't like to say to these terms like enjoy life, because I don't know what's so enjoyable if you put poison in your body. Uh, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, some things happen, and I have no problem with it because let's say 90 up to 90% everything is all right. So a bit of what's the current norm, so to speak, in regard to eating or socializing is not a problem for me at all.
I had a conversation recently with a friend of mine who's a PT, and he's PT in Mexico, and he spoke about his new clients coming in and stuff after Christmas. And I asked him if there's any criteria of client that he would 100% reject. And he said it's someone that comes in and thinks they need to be 100% to the detail on point with everything. But he says that person is going to walk in my doors, and in 2 weeks they will never walk through them again,
Yeah.
because that's the problem people have with these New Year's resolutions of getting in the gym and losing weight and getting fit. It's you put an insane amount of stress on yourself, because if you go from not eating healthy at all to eating just healthy, you've lost a huge growth period. So when things do get difficult and things aren't as easy as I feel great, I'm fitting in my clothes, that's when you're going to really just veer off the RM, because you haven't learned how to manage it properly. And he mentions that if you can be to the detail like these bodybuilders who are going for shows, but
Hmm.
you have to realize these bodybuilders going for shows for maybe about a month after those shows, they completely disregard every restriction they had because they are on the borderline of going insane. They have almost lost their mind. And that's something that I think not even just people over a certain age, I think people in general need to understand that about diet in general. But you mentioned obviously the whole exercise aspect too, and anytime exercise get mentioned, and it's probably the reason why a lot of people with more influence than me or you that have stopped mentioning exercise and the gym completely is because when it's brought up, people automatically think you need to be a bodybuilder, you need to be a powerlifter, you need to be ripping and seeing amount of weight off the floor, but they don't realize going for a walk after work is exercise. That's all we're
Yeah,
asking to do. It can be
yeah,
so simple.
yeah. I have to admit, for me, it sounds a bit crazy to promote walking as exercise. It's something so normal, but when you read the statistics in regard to sitting is the new smoking and how much people really move, it's really shocking that you have
It's
to,
incredible.
yeah, you have to promote something basic, foundational like movement, a simple walk as a health benefit. But yeah, you're you're right.
Yeah, because I was watching a documentary on YouTube of some guy who lost a load of weight, and he was sitting in front of people who were want to be in his position. They want to lose weight, and he mentions the only real exercise he done was he walked every day, and they couldn't get their head around it at all. And he just turned around and he said, "Put your hands up if you walk more than once a week." Nobody put their hands up, and he said, "Put your hands up if you walk once a week," and still nobody put their hands up. And he sat there like, "You don't like you're thinking that I'm insane by saying a walk can change a lot of your habits, but you don't realize that the last time you walked was when you were probably learning to walk as a baby."
Yeah. Oh
It's
man.
so insane.
Yeah, yeah, that really is. Man.
So for men that do get into those deeper ages of 30 where it becomes a thing where not even just they neglect exercise and healthy eating and things, they seem to kind of just neglect the physical condition in general. Do you have any kind of, obviously you have some experience with getting sick and having diseases and things, so do you think that these people don't actually understand how much damage they're really doing to their body?
Yes, I think so. Because um when I use the car as an analogy, when you buy a brand new car and let it sit for years in the garage, imagine getting it out and give it all you've got. So I think you break the car. Something will go wrong. Um, that's and the same happens with our body. I know that our bodies are capable of a lot of things. They compensate a lot. But when you don't take your body for a walk, as simple like that, then you also have to consider your nutrition. You can't just get your body, or you just can't go for a walk and eat donuts, bagels, and McDonald's, etc. This won't help. You won't find that much energy to get up from your comfortable couch. So it's kind of a combination. But yeah, you have to take care of your body and your health, especially for men. at around the peak of their testosterone levels is around 25, 30. It varies a bit, but then it's a steady decline. And also the muscle tissue declines too. And the only way to prevent that from happening as fast as it would happen when you don't exercise, the only remedy for this is to exercise a bit. You don't have to go to the extreme like the bodybuilders who do it uh, for money, so to speak. It's their job. They get
Yeah.
sponsored, etc., etc. But if you just a regular dude, you don't have to put crazy amounts in the gym or even at home. Um, I'd say that most dads don't even want a crazy physique, and so for the most for most people, 3 times a week, let's say 30 to 60 minutes, a whole body workout. It's all they need to stay in very decent shape. Combine that with nutrition, real whole food, let's say at least 80% of the time, and everything will change.